Okay, Phil, bit of a better week this week maybe after the back-to-back wins.
It was a better week because obviously when you win games of football, that's what we're in the game for. That's what we live for. You know, you don't go get involved in football if you're going to be on the losing end of a thrashing week in and week out. And the way the game's changed over the years, Nigel, it is an entertainment business. I understand that. But when I first came into the game, it was about clean sheets. It was about putting your body on the line. It was about putting your head in the 6-yard box, and the same in the other 6-yard box, if truth be known. But it was about defending properly and defending with your life and winning games of football that way. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. But it's also about what we can do with the ball, and if we can get that balance right, even though we've been a team that's been languishing. And nothing short of a good word, that languishing at the bottom of the division. It's horrible to look at a league table when you're rock bottom. Horrible. It's debilitating. It stops you from expressing yourself. It stops you from playing. And when I first came in here and replaced Michael Gash, albeit Michael's still in the changing room. When I first came in here, I honestly thought that, you know, I know you get new manager bounce, and I know that's all part and parcel of the modern day game. But I honestly thought we had some good players. I thought we had some really good players. And I thought these players, if we can get them in the right kind of formation and point them in the right direction, and that's the hard part when you've got to turn a losing mentality around and turn it into a winning mentality. But I thought if we got them pointing in the right direction, we can actually play. We can actually give teams a game. And it's not just about giving them a game, you know. It's not just about that entertainment. It's about giving them a game and winning. And we got that balance right in the last 2 games. But against Darlington, we just didn't get it right. And it was a video session we did here just over a week ago that pointed it out to the players, you know. And I think if truth be known, I've got a group of players that actually care. They actually care about their own performances. They care about the football club. They care about the badge. And they care that, you know, the owner's sitting in there and he does a lot. He gets his hands dirty himself, and he's a one-man band, and he's trying to produce money from nowhere, from his business, and trying to support the players as best he possibly can. We're an overnight stay at South Shields, which I never thought we would have the budget for that. But we're going up there on Friday and preparing like a professional football team, which is music to my ears, having been in the professional game all my life. So all of that, you couple it together with players that can play, players that can defend is key, getting that balance, but also players playing with confidence and then belief in what we're trying to achieve here. And the next game is the most important one, and it's going to be a tough one. You know, there's a couple of teams. One, I got the job on the back of a 5-0 thrashing, I think it was, by Failed, or was it 5-1?
5-1, yeah.
5-1 thrashing by Failed. They're flying high at the top of the division, and there's one better than that, and that's South Shields. And having been there last season and won 5-0 with the Kidderminster Harriers team, they might have a score to settle with me. But I was born and bred less than a mile away from the ground, or a couple of mile away from the ground, and I'll be going back up there as an outsider, as an enemy, as somebody that is going in there trying to nick the points, as it were. But we're going to go there with a game plan. We're going to go there with a little bit of confidence. You know, coming out of the Darlington game, the team was low. You know, we did that presentation to them on the Thursday, and then on the Saturday we produced the goods, and then on the Tuesday we produced the goods. And we're 2 days post that now. I'm going to have a look with them in training today, see what everybody's like. I don't want anybody to be thinking they've cracked it, you know, because that is a dangerous position to be in. So we've got to just assure ourselves that we're in the right place, that we can win a game of football if we approach it in the right manner, and to try and put a Darlington performance as far away as we possibly can from the next time it happens, because we're human beings, it will happen, but try and put that as far away as we possibly can, and get on with the next game and be creative, be positive, be forward thinking, but be defensively sound as well.
I just want to pick up on a few things that you said there. Those players, I think it came a little bit as a shock to them at the start of the season, their form, because this place has been a little bit of a fortress, and they've had a good few years at this level,
Yeah.
and that was the first time we're really up against it. But it's great to see that belief now that you talk about returning, especially in this place is becoming a little bit of a fortress again.
Well, that's when you look around and you see why. It's got a training ground here that, as I said to you when I first interviewed with you, I think, Nigel, this size of training ground is what we had at Bolton Wanderers and we got promoted to the Premier League. This size of training ground is what I had at Hull City and we got promoted to the Premier League. It's not about training grounds, it's about facilities and making sure that they're as good as you can possibly make them. And again, going back to the chairman and the owner, he's absolutely on the money with regards to the standard of the place. But it's the mentality of the group and understanding what's required to win a game of football. And if we go into a game, if we approach a game in the wrong manner, we'll get our comeuppance. But if we approach a game in the right manner, sometimes you get what you deserve, whether that's a point at South Shields or 3 points at South Shields. But we want to go there and with that reassured knowledge that we can win games of football, but that little bit of pride in the performance. We're going to make sure that we roll the sleeves up, because when it goes tough on Saturday, they'll be able to pass the ball around, and we've got to understand that there's going to be a little bit of patience required. We're not there to entertain anybody, but it's very difficult when you've got a ball at Luca Miller's feet, or you've got a ball at Sam McClintock's feet, or you've got a ball at, I'm naming players like Muzza and Kane Felix. If you've got a ball at their feet and they're in the entertainment business, it'd be remiss of me to try and stop that. But we'll go there with a game plan and a group of players that hopefully can do ourselves proud and get something from the game.
You mentioned Muzza there. Is that a clue that he's going to be fit for the weekend?
I'm hoping he is. I'm hoping he's going to turn up. He's always got a smile on his face. I'm hoping he's going to turn up and train. First and foremost, if he trains and gets through training, then there's a possibility he can be available for selection. But it's a long-term plan as well. Kane Felix is, he's been going through it personally off the park. And we gave him his shirt on Tuesday night, and I think he responded. He started off the game like a house on fire, and his pace is a fear factor at this level for sure, or at any level. So it's looking at players that have put it in this week. I've got probably 7 or 8 players that have had both games. I maybe have to have a look at that. We've had 1 or 2 little hamstrings. DJ's had a little bit of a problem, and Muzza's had a little bit of a problem, and when you've missed a pre-season and a new manager comes in and he starts demanding more running, and it's very difficult for a player if you don't prepare yourselves properly. But I think we've got their attention, put it that way, and hopefully that attention is now very positive with regards to the last 2 wins.
Indeed, and Luca Miller, you mentioned him there, made the National League North Team of the Week twice on the trot for our 2 wins.
So he should have.
And it's great to see that sports badge, isn't it, on that graphic when it comes out?
100%. And you can see the reason on Tuesday night, quite simply. He got 2 goals, and one was a winning goal, and the other one gave us a little bit of a breather, But the performances from Luca are down to the fact his information that he's getting, he's taking it across the white line. His knowledge for the game and his thirst for the ball and thirst for hard work and thirst for success is there for me to see. And I'm not saying he's one of the first on the team sheet, but he's out there with the best, and as long as he maintains his form, who knows, he can single-handedly drag us out of the problems that we've got. But it's not just about Luca Miller, there's 1 or 2 are just really grabbing my attention. Aaron Powell being one of them, he's playing left back, he's played left hand side centre back, he's played middle of 3, he's played right hand side centre back. So Aaron's adapting to, again, a fresh manager, a new voice, more information, and they're only young lads, so you've got to be careful how much information you give them, because if they cross the white line and they've got brain freeze, then it's a bad coach. But there's 1 or 2 are certainly coming to the party and grabbing my attention.
And you mentioned as well, I wanted to bring up travelling on Friday. You're right, Tim he wants his team to be seen as professional in everything they do. So travelling Friday, staying overnight, was that your choice, or?
A lot of people will probably think it was my choice because it's South Shields and I'm a kick in the backside from home. But no, listen, I got a budget last year when I was at Kidderminster Harriers, and we had so many overnight stays. I wasn't involved with the budgetary talks at the start of the season here, but apparently there was one overnight stay. Now you can measure it in distance, you can measure it in time, you can measure it in travel, the journey in how many traffic jams you're going to hit. But you're going up on a Friday anyway in England, and you're going to hit traffic. It doesn't matter where you go. I think a few of the lads have decided to drive because they're halfway up anyway, which is part and parcel of it. But give the chairman a lot of credit. He's bought a bus, let alone have a bus. It's something at this level that you don't expect. But he's bought what transit. We've got to use it to the best of our ability. But staying up there in Gateshead and going into the game on Saturday morning, that's proper preparation. I can't expect anything more unless we flew up there. But I'm not expecting that at this moment in time. Maybe in a couple of years' time. But no, it's proper preparation, and hopefully it goes well enough to perform well on Saturday.
And I'm thinking of Darlington in particular, but also Macclesfield and Southport maybe, where we were really slow off the blocks. Do you think that's something to do with travelling that distance on the bus before the game?
I've looked at it with a lot more in-depth detail, and there's lots to be thought of, with regards to travel, with regards to your preparation for the game. Have we done enough? Have we named the team early enough? Have we done the tactics early enough? But if you mentioned one in particular there, it's the Southport game where we were down to 10 men and we win the game 3-2 in the 96th minute or whatever it was. That's down to mentality, and the game of football is probably 95% down to mentality. So our mentality, if you don't want to play. If you want to play football in England, you've got to be prepared to travel. It's as simple as it gets. There's a lot of foreign players come across here, and I've been at the top level. And when they start complaining about travel and why aren't we doing this and why aren't we doing that, go back to your own country. This is what you have to do in England, in Britain. And if you don't like it, you're in the wrong game. So I'm in the right game. I know how it works, and I know when a player's readily got an excuse for a bad performance. I don't want them players anywhere near Peterborough Sports. I want the players that are prepared to do battle with any opposition at any given time. And if we're good enough for them, Nigel, we've got a chance of winning the game.
Brilliant. Well, better luck for Saturday. I hope you catch up with some old pals in your old stamping ground.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Thank you.